How do you feel the people's perceptions towards the European Union is? Because when you look at some local media, especially publications, the EU is portrayed as a bit of a devil. How do you think the people's perception is of the European Union?
Well, I think it varies, and to be honest, I think it's, which is normal. You would expect a fairly wide spectrum of opinion. Clearly, some people will find reasons to criticise us, and some people will actually accept that there is a logic behind our management of this particular issue. But that's nothing new. I mean, it's something we deal with in Europe. We have a very wide spectrum of opinion within Europe about the whole European project, the role of the European Commission. Indeed, being seen as diabolic is perhaps not unique to Sri Lanka. So this is a normal part of public opinion and its expression.
So there's a PR agency employed by the European Union which is running quite a large campaign in trying to humanize the different aid programs and supporting projects run by EU. Is that a sign of the EU being worried, or is that normal operational procedure?
No. That is quite specifically aimed at explaining the development activities, not only of the European Union, but of the international community in general. At a time when some elements in society have either criticised development agencies, INGOs, we feel unjustly, to the point where there was quite definite sentiment of hostility towards organisations, many of them, the vast majority of them, sincerely and in all good faith, are attempting to cooperate with Sri Lankan partners in very worthwhile development projects. And if you like, it's not a propaganda exercise, it's an explanatory exercise. This is what we are doing. There is nothing hidden in what we're doing. There is no political agenda, if you like, when, for instance, you have NGOs working with handicapped children, or you have we have various activities, notably, for instance, construction of the school at Bakarai, the roads, etc. These are not well known, and if they're not well known, that's more our fault. And of course, the lack of knowledge gives rise to these sorts of accusations which we feel are unfounded. So it really is an attempt to publicise what is being done, as I say, not only by us, but by many other agencies.
Let me kind of go back to the GSP plus issue and the political responsibilities of the Sri Lankan government. Do you think that the number of 50,000 people whose employment might hang in the balance, depending on whether the constitution is granted or not, do you think that number would be powerful enough to swing the government's policy in a way that the government adheres to its responsibilities in terms of international humanitarian law?
Well, firstly, the figure itself is disputed, as you're probably well aware. There are certain very influential, very respected institutions who consider that there will be no effect at all if GSP Plus is suspended. I don't want to indulge in speculation, and indeed it's certainly not my place to question those institutions. Others have a different view.
But I think itself on the report said that there would be quite a bit of impact.
Well,
they don't talk about numbers, but they did say.
But I think it's putting it that way is perhaps a little narrow. My sentiment is that the President himself and his government wish to address issues of concern within the bilateral relationship. It's not a question of simply a threat, because it's not a threat. This is we've been very clear from the start where we want to go and that we want to do it in cooperation with the Sri Lankan government. Ideally, we'll be in a situation where there will not be any suspension at all. So the question of job losses won't even arise.
Last question would be, where do you think the GSP Plus concession would end? Would Sri Lanka get the concession, or would the concession be cancelled?
Well,
by looking at things, how things
well,
are going on so far.
I think I would really prefer not to give an answer to that, because any answer I give would be speculative. It's not avoiding the question, but I don't have a crystal ball. Certainly, as I said, and I repeat, the indications I've had from the government is that it's prepared to work with us. And my hope is that we will be in a situation where we're able to give a positive recommendation on the continuation of GSP Plus, and beyond that, we can work on further developing trade relations. That would be my objective as representative of the European Commission in Sri Lanka, is that at the end of my term, we will go beyond GSP Plus as our trade relations develop. As has been noted by many, that GSP Plus in any case is temporary. What we want to establish is a long-term trading relationship, and that is wider than one instrument. That also means, for instance, a diversification of our trading relationship to more than one or two sectors, to the development of business relationships between the European Union and Sri Lanka, and in particular in the area of investment, particularly relations between small and medium-sized enterprises. And I just point out that we do have a number of programs, notably Switch Asia, which is specifically targeted at getting small and medium-sized enterprises together to develop trade where there was none before. So we want to get to this situation of a broader relationship, not dependent on one instrument, which is not only trade, but also investment.